Hello everyone, welcome back to another ladder replay. I started calling these videos a weekly replay at some point, but recently my schedule has kind of changed, and with how Langrisser replays work, every major update, the old replays gets corrupted for whatever reason. So I decided to just scratch that. If I have good games, I'll record them and I'll just upload them. Because previously I tried to do it weekly so that I can have a more consistent upload schedule, but at this point it's too much work. So anyways, so looking at the matchup we have in this one, it's nothing we haven't seen before. In terms of the DPS, these are pretty common. There's quite a lot of assassins in this box, and there's no tanks, no Hilda, no Autocrator, no Juggler, nothing. And he has two arrogant healers, so they're very aggressive design for the box, but the DPSs, nothing we haven't seen before. It's the usual few suspects. And my box, same as usual. So this box, I went for the Lucretia first ban. So, compared with the previous video, I kind of juggle around the Lucretia and Wedam ban. So I went for Lucretia ban this time because I felt like his team wasn't fast enough to follow up the Wedam if he rushed me. So given this box, Kyra cannot run straight on this map. The only fast unit he has are like Elwyn, Ares, Diehard, the rest, and TJS, I guess. The rest of them not really the fastest, so I guess I felt more comfortable going for the Lucretia ban here. And I picked my Hilda here, so I guess that's the other reason that I didn't ban Wetham, right? Because, I picked Hilda. It's a soft counter to Wetham. So here I lose my Rosen and Elwyn, and he goes for the Epsilon pick, which is, I think it's okay, but my box is mostly DPSs, so I won't, I'm okay with having a trade game, so, it's pretty good for me to play a trade game, because he has no tanks and stuff, so I can go right ahead and ban the Wetham and IBC. So Wetham, even though I have a Hilda, it's still nice to get it out of the way, because Wetham makes trading games very hard to play if you don't deal with the Wetham ASAP. Everything's just gonna get passive block. And IBC, because he has Kruger, Kyra, can mobility boost the Epsilon himself as well, so it's just a overall support pick that I just want to get out of the way, because with Epsilon first pick, I'm not really threatened by any immediate follow-up. Like if he picks two assassins, it's kind of chill, right? So even if I have tank, but I'm okay with playing the trade game, so that's why I ban IBC here. Then I picked Diehard just to secure some threat range for myself. And then Lucretia and Sherry gets banned, and he goes for Lord Kruger. So, I could have banned Lord Kruger in this slot if I didn't want to deal with it, but I didn't, so I have to deal with it now. So, because I guess I wasn't really expecting a Epsilon into Kruger kind of draft, Assassin into AoE. So, caught me off guard a little bit, but yeah, it is what it is. Better the TJS because I don't want a flying Kruger in my face that I cannot deal with. And Himiko is the other AoE unit, so I can't deal with two debuff units much. So, TJS, I like TJS with Kruger. The problem with Kruger is if it's the Dropnear's Warlocks build, Diehard will actually die hitting with that, and if it's on the terrain, I might not even kill. So, yeah, I just want to get the mobility out of the way. I picked my IBC, so my remaining unit, most of them are 3 mobility units, so I'm pretty much guaranteed to get decent value out of my IBC. So, and he does have a tank, so IBC will be able to, actually attack the units instead of the tank. So, pretty good pick here. The TJS and Autocrator gets banned. TJS is like additional mobility, and then Autocrator is because he has Epsilon, I guess. You never want to play the RNG game against an Autocrator if you can help it. Losing your attack buff, losing your faction buff, even worse. Just better not play that game. Picks Ares here, so flex unit, but most likely AoE, or just displacement in general can be good against tanks usually. Ban out Cherry and Diehard, so Cherry can be kind of annoying bouncing around, and Die Hard is just overall a lot of threat range compared to Elwyn. Elwyn, I still have a tank, so I don't need to ban it. And I finally get to play Alicia, 4th pick here. And he's supported by IBC, so she's gotta get pretty good mileage this game. Then I lose my Epsilon and Ares, and I get left with my double assassins. And he secures his act again here, which is pretty scary with a Kruger to be fair, if he gets lucky and breezes. And I ban the Kyura with Elwyn. So Elwyn, you know, I have a Hilda, but at the end of the day, if I'm trading on his side of the map, this Elwyn is still very nasty. I still need a way to deal with him in the end game, even though I have a Hilda. Kyura is just another assassin, long range, can hit and run. Whereas Werner is kind of just stuck there. So I was more comfortable dealing with the Werner rather than Kyura in this game. Because I have IBC, right? She has attack first, so Werner is less scary. And I take my Sigma, which has longer range compared to Werner. So Sigma, I'm bringing the Ignore Guard still because it's a safer way to kill Kruger if it comes down to it. Because with Cybox and into, you know, I was expecting him to be the drop near Warlock's build, and I think the Cybox build on Sigma has problems killing that consistently, so I go for the duel. You know, everything else is pretty standard. Alicia brings her like her 2C attack skill this game, because I figured I probably don't have the chance to use mobility up on my Die Hard, which also doesn't benefit from King's Crown. So, you know, not much reason to bring the mobility up here. IBC, I brought Unicorns because Sensi finds it rather difficult to move on this map because of the pillars and the river in the middle. So I opted to bring Unicorns here. And for his side, he has Epsilon with mobility up, Werner double attack with sneak attack, Ares Wind Whisper, Kruger with Dark Dragon Breath, and Liana standard. So yeah, move on into the game. So right off the bat, I cast my attack formation on Alicia just to get my threat range up. So I push my Hilda in front of Alicia so that she can, you know, she has the springboard. So this is a 4-star Alicia, so I'm only getting 2 mobility here instead of the 3 blocks at 5-star. And she can already reach until almost the other side of the map at this point. So yeah, you can see. With just IBC's buff or her normal breeze prop, her mobility is pretty insane. But, you know, I don't need to do anything yet, so I just continue setting up the rest of my team. Sigma puts the mark on Epsilon. I want to get rid of Epsilon if I can do so before the rest of the fight happens and he gets his shield. Well, although I have 2 Dispel 5s here, it's nice to be able to get rid of the Epsilon if I can help it. And I didn't need to mark Kruger because it's Sorceress, and I figured most of my units can probably kill this. So it's also breezed, which is why I'm keeping my longest range units here. So because he can act again with Liana, and he can reach here with which hits like these 3 guys, I guess. But yeah, you know, good practice. Usually you just keep your longest range unit for these kind of situations. I use Die Hard's Oath just to buff, and here I go in. So because he positioned his Epsilon here, I can actually run these 2 blocks, which is from her act again. I skip 1 tile from Werner, and I skip 1 tile from Kruger, so I can actually reach the Epsilon from my spawn. 3C that, get the kill. And here, because he kept Liana last, he's forced to act again on Ares to try and kill my Alicia. If not, next turn I'm full health, I'm gonna go for another kill immediately with my 2C. So, goes from below my Alicia. because he brought Wind Whisper, so he doesn't have the Noble Charge, and sadly, Ares having Flyer normal attack animation actually just straight up dies to Alicia. So if you're Ragnarok, I think they will both die together, but because it's not, my Alicia actually managed to survive. So here, my proper play was probably just to run back, use my egg again, and then run to somewhere like here. You know, just pull a full retreat because he has 3 units left. If I can retreat with this one, it's 5 to 3, and if he comes to fight on my side of the map, it's pretty advantageous in my favor. But, you know, my Alicia just got 2 kills, so I was very excited at that point. And I kind of misplayed here. So I'm not Twilight Star, so hitting into Sorcerer's Kruger was pretty optimistic. And I kind of lose my Alicia for nothing. You know, she got 2 kills, so it's not like she did poorly. But, she didn't really need to die there. Because, 12.3k is not exactly high HP, but it's not low either, so it could even be Star Earring. And if it's Star Earring, I would say that's actually pretty decent damage onto Kruger, even without defense buff. So I had 2 plays, right? I either could run back like I described earlier, or I could have made proper use of my egg again. I could run here, egg again, and run back to my current position. So I will get an extra 8% from her talent because I only ran through Kruger, so I had 8%, but if I ran through 2 units, I will get 16%. And I have EMB, so I have no idea why I didn't melee here. If I melee, I don't know if it would kill with that extra 8% damage increase, but I wouldn't die, and he would need to actually hit my Alicia once. So yeah, a little bit of misplay, got too excited here, and I threw away my Alicia for nothing. And he just casually heals it back up. So still 4 to 3, so things are still looking alright for now. Even though this Hilda is pretty useless. Werner is parked there on the terrain with Lancer troops. Probably in defense stance, but just in case, so I try to space out my units a little bit. So Die Hard is my most important unit here, so I didn't want to risk him being in attack stance and getting the kill. So he just moves back, and here I make a pretty bad play. So, I usually play on stream with other people every now and then. And this play wasn't really my call. Like, it didn't really make sense to me, but I did it anyway because it's unicorns into state guards on terrain. It's probably defense stance. And even though I attack first, it's pretty unlikely to kill. And the logic is that if he goes in and attacks me, it's guaranteed to be on attack stance, and I can just kill it with my other units. And it's just better to have the option to threaten the Kruger, because Kruger is going to be the true late game unit here. So even if I could have just ended turn in front and forced him to kill the IDC, that would have been an okay play as well. But I just picked Guard and just tried to hit the Werner, which did not work out. So he just runs back. And I just push the rest of my units up. Get a breach proc on Die Hard here, which is, pretty nice. And here he finally takes my IBC. But here he has egg again, so I need to do something now because he just killed with 3C, and then he's in attack stance and he just got a breeze here. So yeah, I need to do something now. But based on that HP and the state guards, I'm able to kill it with Sigma, long range attack. But now Kruger is finally ready to play. This is the worst part of the game. That Dragon Breath pretty much just completely cripples my Sigma. I try to attack directly, but Sorceress with the shield managed to keep the Holy Light protection up. And on top of the mountain, sadly, Die Hard does not manage to kill that. I stun, so Liana just heals and removes the stun. And here, you know, the Kruger is ready to just chisel on everything with his 3C. So here I made the play to just get my attack out on the Liana, just to weaken the Liana. And the 3C does come out here, kills off my Sigma, cripples my Die Hard with his silence and like random other shit, cannot use passive skills, takes damage. But because I managed to weaken the Liana with Sigma, I can go ahead, do a melee attack with Die Hard, kill that off, get a stun on the Kruger, hit him for basically nothing. But I still have guard, I guess. Well, I don't have guard now, but I was silenced, so... But he just came out of the... Wait, did already. Yeah, he's still stunned, so I hit him. And then next turn is his turn, so he unstuns himself. And I hit him again. And I just end my Die Hard next to Hilda because I'm guarding passively. There's no passive block on me. He tries to normal attack my Hilda. Takes 1 life, but you know, it doesn't really do anything. Because if I don't have buffs, you cannot give me debuffs because Kruger only converts buffs to debuffs from his talent. So he has nothing to do, everything's on cooldown, just hits me. Then, you know, I just buff. And then Die Hard uses his Oath. And basically heals up to almost full health. And at this point, my 3C is back up with Strike. So, you know, this game is ending soon. And there's nothing much he can do. He only has his shield and his... I call it the finger. But the sorcerers are now broken. So there's no chance of that failing again. And I just finish off the game. And you know, that will be the end of the game. So pretty scary in the end game because I kind of choked my IBC and also the Alicia towards the tail end, but it worked out okay. Like Kruger's debuff wasn't too crippling, you know, it was just a silence, and you know, just managing to make that call on the Liana basically saved my game, kind of. But yeah, overall, Alicia getting 2 kills, almost getting 3 kills. If she was higher star, she could probably kill that Kruger as well. So yeah, I finally got a pretty good game with Alicia, so I just wanted to showcase it. And yeah, that will be it for this game. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.